Thursday this morning. It's the second walk this week. Beautiful sunny morning after all the rain we had yesterday, which I think was long awaited anyway. I'm just going to do a short 10 miler this morning and following the river out to Harvington, a loop around Harvington and back again. And yeah, just shy of 10 miles I think. And I'm going to, some of the way I'll follow the old Evesham to Redditch, well it was actually Ashchurch to Barton Green railway track. I'll be walking along that. I'll explain a bit more about that as I get nearer to it. I'll come back to you shortly. Bye! A beautiful bird song this morning. I can hear, I think it's reed buntings in this tree just by the river here. The river's like glass, it really is. It's so smooth, there's no wind, not a scrap of wind this morning. We had loads yesterday. The grass is glistening with all the rain that we had. We did need it. And just up in the distance, so if you can make it out, there's Green Hill, which is famous in Evesham's terms anyway for the Battle of Evesham in the 4th of August 1265, where Simon de Montfort was defeated. I've shown that in previous videos anyway. Anyway, forward on up here, heading towards the Twyford, the Valley Country Park. We're going to the edge of that. It's the river here, you see that? There's a boat or a ferry in. Bottom of Boat Lane in Offenham. It's about a couple of miles, I think it's east of Evesham. Used to be a ferry here across the river. I don't think it happens anymore. Certainly not heard of it. The pub is actually still operating. Also up here called Dead Man's Alt, a small island, and this is where the marauding soldiers from the Battle of Evesham escaped from, hang on a minute, from Green Hill up there down to the river, and a lot of them trying to cross the river at the Alt actually drowned with the weight of all the armour they were wearing, so managed to escape that and then drown in the river. But yeah, it's a beautiful setting in the summer, it really is. What's happened with all the grass and the undergrowth? It was up here a few days ago. I'm sure it's shot up since then. With all the warmth and the wet. Absolutely, it's all going mad now. Beautiful to see though. How about that for a field of cow parsley? Never seen so much. My poor rabbit was alive, he'd have a field day here. He'd certainly pig out on this lot. Okay, just climbed up onto the railway embankment now. This way here, heading back towards Evesham. If I just turn slowly round, direction we're going in, this is where we've gone towards Redditch. Right, a bit about the railway. It's a single track, it was a single track line. I think it was built around the 1860s. And it was called the Ashchurch to Barton Green line. I think it's by Great Western Railway. I think it's built basically as a cut through between the west of England and up towards Birmingham, where Barton Green would have joined up onto the Birmingham line. Going from Ashchurch, I think it was stationed at Ashton under Hill, Hinton on the Green, Evesham Bengeworth, and that station was actually stationed in Hampton, Evesham, and on along where I am now, heading towards Harvington, Salford Priors. Salford Priors actually, there's, if you go on the A46 bypass from Evesham, get to the Bidford roundabout, turn left towards Oversey Mill, Redditch, etc. About half a mile up on the right hand side, there's still pretty intact the signal box off the line. It'll carry on through Ulster, Studley, Redditch and onto Barton Green. The Evesham Ashchurch section of the railway was closed, I think it was 1962, as it was deemed to be dangerous. So that was actually closed down, even though they kept a part of it open at Ashchurch to link up the army camp there, all the vehicle storage, etc. And then the rest of this railway was closed in 1963, I think the beaching cuts. Ashchurch station actually reopened again in 1995. That's on the Birmingham, down the southwest link, down through Cheltenham, Gloucester, etc., down Bristol. So yeah, and that's still going now. So anyway, I'll walk on along here. It's still a good track. See how far we go. Okay, up behind me, which you can't see from here, I don't think you will, is the Valley Country Park at Twyford. I've always called it Twyford. It's actually called the Valley now. Up there you've got a garage, fast food outlets, several retail stores, coffee shops obviously, large garden centre, small scale ride on train, fishing lake, access down here to the river, and loads of walks. Very popular with people in the summer especially, but all year round as well with all the shopping. The old brick buildings, I think this is part of the railway line. There was a Sigmund's hut or workman's hut or something. That's still pretty intact. Carry on up the line for a little bit longer. It will peter out before long where it goes back into fields again. You see it was pretty much a single track line. It's a lovely footpath for walking as well. Pretty beautiful. Okay, this is where the railway line ends. We can see it as an old railway line anyway. Back into fields. Spin around slowly. There's fields everywhere now. You can see the bed of the old line still there. Over in the distance we've got Offenham. In the far distance, you wouldn't pick up on this camera, is the Malvern Hills. But I'm going to go follow the track up here now, over the A46 bridge, and then do a loop of Harvington village. I'll come back to you shortly. Just gone to Harvington now. That's the Church of St James the Great, built between 11th and 12th centuries, and Grade 1 listed building now. Just swing you around. Recently closed down the Coach and Horses pub. It used to do quite a good trade there. A nice place, but going the way of many of them, I think. Right, I'll carry on up here, turn left. I'll carry straight on for about 200 yards. You've got a large complex of fishing lakes and a large caravan site, which also owns part of the river there as well for the fishing. And then we have the village hall. And we've got a Baptist church as well here. Harvington actually used to be two villages, one each side of the main road. We come up to the crossroads shortly. There's now just one village. I think the side I'm on at the moment is the older side. There's a lot more black and white properties on this side of it. Most of the other side is much more modern. And Harvington is actually a village located right in the middle of between the River Avon and the Lench Hills. Maybe to see those shortly, or see. There's the Golden Cross pub. That one is still in operation. Up to the crossroads now. So this was the old side it was on, and straight across. That's the newer part of Harvington. It used to be two separate villages. Across the road here is Allendon Farm Shop, quite a popular place, and got a cafe as well, seems to do quite well. If you need some good quality produce, that's the place to go. Okay, I'm heading now back out of the village towards Norton, where I'll cut back onto the track I was on earlier. Well, I've just completed the circuit of Harvington village and the surrounding areas. I hope you found that the points of interest there interesting. It's a beautiful little village. I'm now back on the track that I came in from home this morning, so I'm going back pretty much the same way, so I shan't do any filming now. I think you've seen most of what there is along the disused railway track, along the river there, back into Evesham. So if you like what you've seen, you please like, subscribe, and we'll carry on. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Take care now, goodbye.